Now we are going to learn the important concept of geometry, that is congruence criterion. Now what are the congruent objects? Now if you observe any two postal stamps of the same denomination, so they look like of the same shape and also the same size. And if you see any two wings of the fan, so they also look like of the same shape and the same size. And if you see any two blades, means shaving blades of the same company, so they also have the same shape and also same size. Now we can define the congruent objects as the two objects having the same shape and also the same size are said to be the congruent objects. Now we can define congruent objects are the objects having the same size, same shape and same size. So first you can write same shape and same size. Are called congruent objects. Now any two congruent objects have the same shape and also the same size. Now the relation of objects being congruent is called congruence criterion. The relation of objects being congruent is called congruence criterion. Now how the congruent objects look like? Now the congruent objects exactly cover each other. Now the congruent objects exactly fit each other or cover each other. Means they are the copies of one another. The congruent objects are the copies of, means trace copies or copies of one another. So the congruent objects are the copies of one another. Now how to examine whether the two objects are congruent or not? So we can use the superposition method to check, to examine whether the two objects are, whether they are congruent or not. Now let us see the congruence of plane figures. Means how two plane figures are said to be congruent to each other. Now let us take any two plane figures like the figure 1 so this is figure 1 and you take another plane figure. Now take the trace copy of the figure F2 and place it over on the figure F1. If two figures cover each other exactly, then the two figures are said to be congruent each other. So if you take the trace copy of figure F2 and place it over the figure F1, then if two figures exactly cover each other, then we say that the two plane figures f1 and f2 are said to be congruent to each other. Now the congruence of the two figures is represented by figure f1 is congruent to figure f2. So this is a symbol for congruence criterion. So we can say that if two figures are congruent to each other, then we use the symbol to represent the congruence of the two figures. So here, if the trace copy of figure f1 fits exactly on the figure f1, then the two figures f1 and f2 are congruent to each other. So if the trace copy of figure f2 fits exactly on the figure f1, then the two figures f1 and f2 are said to be congruent to each other. So then we can say that figure f1 is congruent to figure f2. Now let us see when the two line segments are said to be congruent. Means the congruence among line segments. Now take a line segment AB of length 4 centimeters and take another line segment CD of length 4 centimeters. Now any two line segments have the same shape, but when do they have same size? The size of the line segment depends on the length. So if two line segments have the same length, then they are said to be congruent to each other. Now for example, if two line segments AB and CD are there, now place the second line segment, or you can take the trace copy of the line segment CD and place it on the line segment AB such that here the 2 points A and C exactly coincide with each other, and if CD is along with the line segment AB and even the points B and D also coincide with each other, then we can say that these two line segments are said to be congruent to each other. Means if two line segments have the same length, then we say that they are said to be congruent to each other. Now if you take another line segment PQ of length 5 centimeters and there is another line segment RS of length 7 centimeters, then here also take the trace copy of the second line segment RS and place it on the first line segment PQ such that here P and R coincide with each other, and if RS is along with PQ, and here we can observe that Q and S, the 2 points Q and S do not coincide with each other because the second line segment length is more than the length of the first line segment. They do not have the same length, so they are not said to be congruent to each other. Means if two line segments have the same length, then they are said to be congruent, or if two line segments are congruent, their lengths are equal. So we can write that if two line segments have the same length, they are congruent to each other. Or we can say that if two line segments are congruent to each other, then they have the same length. So this converse also true. So if two line segments AB and CD are congruent, so then we can write line segment AB is congruent to the line segment CD, or simply this can be represented by their lengths. So that is AB equals to CD. So whenever we write AB equals to CD means their lengths are equal, then automatically the two line segments are congruent to each other. But here the line segment PQ is not congruent to the line segment RS because they do not have the same length. So finally we can conclude that two line segments are congruent if they have same length. Now let us see the congruence of angles. Now when the two angles are said to be congruent to each other. Now let us take angle ABC whose measure is 40 degrees, and let us take the second angle DEF whose measure is the same as 40 degrees. Now if you take the trace copy of the second angle and place it over the first angle ABC, so that here E and B, the two vertices E and B coincide with each other, and EF falls exactly on BC. So we should take the trace copy of the second angle and place it over the first angle ABC, so that here the 2 points B and E coincide with each other, and here EF falls exactly on BC. Then if ED also falls exactly on BA, then we say that the two angles are said to be congruent, because so these are the copies of one another, means they cover each other exactly. So when the two angles cover each other exactly, then we can say that the two angles are said to be congruent. Now when the two angles are said to be congruent, if they have the same measure, here the two angles are of 40 degrees, so then we can say that the two angles are congruent to each other. Now we can write the statement as, if two angles have the same measure, they are congruent angles. Conversely, if two angles are congruent to each other, then we can say that the two angles have the same measure. Now let us take another two angles of different measures. Now the first angle PQR of 30 degrees, and the second angle LMN of 45 degrees. Now if you take the two angles of 30 degrees and 45 degrees, now here also we apply the same method of superposition, that now take the trace copy of the second angle and place it over the first angle, such that here the two vertices Q and M coincide with each other, and also this MN ray falls exactly on QR ray. But if you observe here ML ray does not fall on the QP ray, because so this angle's measure is 45 degrees, which is more than the measure of the first angle. So here the ML does not fall on QP ray, so then we can say that the two angles are not congruent in case of second figure. So but in the first figure, the two angles are congruent to each other. Now if two angles are congruent, then we can write now measure of angle ABC. If the measure of angle ABC equals to the measure of angle DEF, then we can write angle ABC congruent to angle DEF. So if the two angles have the same measure, then the two angles are said to be congruent. Or if the two angles are said to be congruent, then the two angles have the same measure. So the two angles are said to be congruent if they have the same measure. Otherwise, they are not congruent. Now let us see the congruence of triangles. Now we have already discussed that the two line segments are congruent if they have same length, and two angles are congruent if they have the same measure. Now when the two triangles are said to be congruent, so if two triangles have the same shape and also the same size, then they are said to be congruent. Now we can write that two triangles which have the same shape and same size two triangles which have the same shape and same size are congruent to each other. Now let us take two triangles. Triangle ABC and triangle DEF. Now these two triangles have the same shape and also the same size. Then we can say that triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF. Now if you take the trace copy of the second triangle and place it over the first triangle, then exactly, so D coincides with A and E coincides with B and F coincides with C, and even all the sides coincide with each other. So here the corresponding sides coincide with each other. So here DE coincides with AB and EF coincides with BC and DF coincides with AC. So then we can write the correspondence between the vertices and correspondence between the angles and also the correspondence between the sides. Now what are the corresponding vertices in the two triangles when they are congruent? Now here we can write corresponding vertices. So what are the corresponding vertices if the two triangles are congruent? So if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, then here A corresponds to B. So here A and D, next B and E, and C and F. So these are the corresponding vertices. So here we can write A comma B, A comma D, next B comma E and C comma F. So these are the corresponding vertices. Then what are the corresponding angles? Same, angle A and angle D, angle B and angle E, and then angle C and angle F. So these are the corresponding angles. Angle A comma angle D, angle B comma angle E, then angle C comma angle F. So these are the corresponding angles when the two triangles are congruent. So angle A corresponds to angle D, angle B corresponds to angle E. Now when the two triangles are congruent, then here angle A corresponds to angle D, angle B corresponds to angle E, and angle C corresponds to angle F. Now what are the corresponding sides of the two triangles? So next we will write corresponding sides. Now here AB corresponds to DE and BC corresponds to EF and AC corresponds to DF. So we can write AB and DE, BC and EF, then AC and DF. So these are the corresponding sides of the two congruent triangles. So whenever we write the corresponding sides or corresponding vertices or the corresponding angles, we must maintain the order of the corresponding angles or sides or vertices. So that is based on the congruence of the two triangles ABC and DEF. So far we have discussed what is congruence criterion and what are the congruent line segments and the congruent angles and also the congruent triangles. Now let us solve few problems. Now in the first question, if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED under the correspondence triangle, here ABC corresponds to FED, means the order is very important here. Here A corresponds to F, B corresponds to E and C corresponds to D. So when there is correspondence between ABC and FED, so then write all the corresponding congruent parts of the triangles. Now let us draw the two congruent triangles. So the first triangle is ABC and the second triangle is FED. Under the correspondence, here A corresponds to F, so these two are equal. Then B corresponds to E, then C corresponds to D. Now what are the corresponding congruent parts of the two triangles? So first you will write the corresponding angles. Corresponding congruent angles you will write first. Now here angle A corresponds to angle F. So here we can write that angle A corresponds to angle F. Then angle B corresponds to angle E. So then angle C corresponds to angle D. So these are the corresponding angles of the two congruent triangles. Now we will write the corresponding sides. Corresponding congruent sides. Now AB is corresponding to FE. So AB corresponds to FE, or AB is congruent to FE. Then AB line segment. BC corresponds to ED. Then AC corresponds to FD. So these are the corresponding congruent angles and corresponding congruent sides in the two congruent triangles ABC and FED. Now let us see the next question. If triangle DEF congruent to triangle BCA, write the parts of triangle BCA that corresponds to angle E, EF, angle F and DF. Now let us draw the two triangles which are congruent to each other. So the first triangle is DEF and the second triangle is BCA. Such that here angle D corresponds to angle B, then angle E corresponds to angle C, then angle F corresponds to angle A. Now if the two triangles are congruent to each other, now the first question, angle E corresponds to what? See here, angle E corresponds to angle C. So we can write here angle E corresponds to angle C. The second question, EF, the line segment EF, the line segment EF corresponds to, so in the first triangle EF corresponds to CA, we can write CA. In the third question, angle EF, so angle F corresponds to what? See here, angle F corresponds to angle A, then fourth question, DF, so DF corresponds to BA. So these are the corresponding angles or corresponding sides of the two congruent triangles. Now let us discuss the next topic, that is criteria for congruence of triangles. Now let us discuss each congruence criterion of triangles. Now criteria for congruence of triangles. Now first let us start with SSS congruence criterion, side. Now for example, you have drawn a triangle ABC with the given sides and angles. For example, triangle ABC is drawn. The length of BC is 5 centimeters and AC 6 centimeters, and the length of AB is, for example, 4 centimeters, and the angles are given as, so angle B is 70 degrees and angle C is 50 degrees and angle A is 60 degrees. Now if you want to draw the copy of the given triangle, for example, if I give you only one side of the triangle, means you have to draw the copy of the triangle, and that is you are given only one side of the triangle. For example, the side BC is given. Now by taking only BC as 5 centimeters, so I have given you the length of base BC is 5 centimeters. With the given base BC, how can you draw the copy of the given triangle ABC? Means how to draw the congruent triangle of ABC. For example, by taking BC, we can draw an acute angle triangle like this, or we can draw a right angle triangle, or we can draw any, again taking 5 centimeters base BC, or you can draw an obtuse angle triangle. So we cannot draw exact copy of the original triangle ABC. Now for example, if I give you the two sides, the lengths of the two sides, now I have given you 5 centimeters and also AC 6 centimeters. Now can you draw the exact copy of the original triangle ABC? Again let us try. Now here BC is given 5 centimeters and AC also given that 6 centimeters. Now with C center and 6 centimeters radius, now you will draw an arc. So that is, but how can you find the point A on this arc? So here also we are not able to draw the original, means we are not able to draw the exact copy of the original triangle ABC. Now for example, if you are given all the three sides, 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters and also 6 centimeters. Now here when the three sides are given to you, now you are able to draw the exact copy of the original triangle ABC. Now because, now first you can draw a line segment BC of 5 centimeters, then with C center and 6 centimeters radius you will draw an arc, and again with B center and 4 centimeters radius you will draw another arc. Now this is the point of, so mark A as the point of intersection of these two arcs. Now you can join AB and AC. Now you will get the exact copy of the original triangle ABC. Now here we can observe that now these two triangles are congruent to each other, or you can draw ABC here 5 centimeters and this side 6 centimeters and here 4 centimeters. Now the given triangle ABC and this triangle ABC, these two are the copies of each other, means they are congruent to each other. Now if you observe the sides, corresponding sides of the two triangles, they are equal. So here AB is 4 centimeters and here also AB 4 centimeters and BC 5 centimeters, here also BC 5 centimeters and AC 6 centimeters, here also AC is the 6 centimeters. Now when the two triangles are congruent to each other, if the three sides of the first triangle are equal to the corresponding three sides of the second triangle, we can say that then the two triangles are congruent to each other. Now this is what the SSS congruence criterion, or we can say that side congruence criterion. Now two triangles are congruent if three sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding three sides of the another triangle. So we can write the statement of congruent SSS congruence criterion. So we can write if three sides of a triangle are equal to corresponding three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are congruent to each other. Now if you take any two triangles, triangle ABC and triangle PQR, here the length of AB is 5 centimeters and length of BC is 7 centimeters and the length of AC is 9 centimeters, and here the length of PQ is 5, length of QR is 7 centimeters and the length of PR is 9 centimeters. Then we can say that here three sides of the first triangle are respectively equal to the three sides of the second triangle. So we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Now this is what the SSS congruent criterion of triangles. Now let us see the next congruence criterion, that is side angle side congruence criterion, SAS congruence criterion. Now here also let us take two triangles ABC and the other triangle XYZ. Now in the two triangles, the length of the side AB equals to the length of the side XY and length of the side BC equals to the length of the side YZ. And what is the angle included between these two sides, between AB and BC? So that is angle B. So here angle B equals to, here also the angle included between the sides XY and YZ, that is angle Y. So the two sides and the included angle between them of one triangle are equal to the two sides and include angle between them of the second triangle, then the two triangles are said to be congruent to each other. So here we can write that AB equals to xy and BC equals to yz. Then the angle included between these two sides AB and BC, so that is angle B equals to, here also the angle included between these two sides between xy and yz, that is angle Y. So the two sides and the included angle between them of one triangle are equal to the two sides and included angle between them of the other triangle. So then the two triangles are said to be the congruent triangles. So here we can write that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle XYZ. So here we can write the statement that two sides and included angle between them of one triangle are equal to, see here, two sides and include angle between them of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two sides and include angle between them of another triangle then the two triangles are congruent. Now according to the side angle side congruence criterion, the two sides and the include angle of one triangle are respectively equal to the two sides and include angle of the second triangle. Then the two triangles are said to be congruent to each other. Now here in the two triangles, the length of the side AB equals to length of the side XY and here BC equals to YZ and the include angle B equal to include angle Y. So then we can say that the two triangles are said to be congruent. So by SAS criterion, here also side angle side criterion, we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Now let us see the next congruence criterion of triangle, that is angle side angle congruence criterion. So ASA congruence criterion. Now consider two triangles PQR and triangle LMN. Now in these two triangles, here angle P equals to angle L and angle Q equals to angle M, and what is the included side between these two angles, between angle P and angle Q, that is PQ. So here PQ, here also the include angle is LM. So if the two angles and included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two angles and included side of another triangle, then the two triangles are said to be congruent. So in these two triangles, angle P equals to angle L and angle Q equals to angle M Then what is the included side? So that is PQ equals to LM. So here the two angles and included side of one triangle are equal to corresponding two angles and the included side of the second triangle. So then we can say that the two triangles are said to be congruent. Now here triangle PQR is congruent to triangle LMN. So here we can say that we can write the statement as if two angles and included side of one triangle are equal to corresponding two angles and included side other triangle the two triangles are congruent. So if the two angles and included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two angles and included side of other triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. Now for example, in the two triangles ABC, the triangle ABC and in the other triangle DEF, for example, angle A equals to angle D and angle B equals to angle E. But what is the included side between the two angles? So that is AB. Here also the included side is DE, but here included sides are not equal. But here BC equals to EF. Now this can be stated as AAS. Now in this case whether the two triangles are congruent or not. Here the angle side. Your side is not in the included side. So your side is not included side. Now in this case also the two triangles are congruent or not. Now let us check whether the two triangles are congruent or not. Means now how whether AAS becomes ASA or not. Now as you know that if two angles of a triangle are given, then we can find the third angle. For example, the first angle is 70 degrees and the second angle B is 60 degrees. Then what is the third angle? So as the sum of the three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, so here we can find out the third angle. So 70 plus 60, 130. So 180 minus 130 is 50 degrees. So the third angle is 50 degrees. So here also angle A equals to angle D. So this is also 70 degrees. And angle B equals to angles E. So this is also 60 degrees. Then let us find the third angle in the second triangle. Now 70 plus 60, 130 and 180 minus 130, 50 degrees. So here also, now let us observe the angle C and angle F. Now these two are equal. So angle B equals to angle E and angle C equals to angle F. See here we can write that angle B equals to angle C, angle E and angle C equals to angle F. And here BC is the included side. So here BC we can write included side. Now here we can write that AAS. Sorry, A congruence criterion. So here also A congruence criterion. Now AAS or ASA congruence criterion both are same. So when the included sides are not equal, when the two pairs of corresponding angles are equal, of course the included sides are not equal, but we can change AAS congruence as ASA congruence criterion. Now let us see the next congruence criterion, that is RHS congruence criterion, right angle, hypotenuse, side. RHS congruence criterion. Now the congruence among the right angle triangles. Now consider the two right angle triangles. Triangle ABC, a triangle DEF. Now in triangle ABC, angle B is right angle, and in triangle DEF, angle E is right angle. So the two right angle triangles, in these two right angle triangles, the side opposite to the right angle is known as the hypotenuse. So in the first right angle triangle, AC is the hypotenuse, and in the second right angle triangle, DF is the hypotenuse. So these two hypotenuse are equal, and the other two perpendicular sides are AB and BC. So here also DE and EF. So these are the legs of the right angle triangles. Now in these two right angle triangles, so this hypotenuse is equal to the hypotenuse of the second triangle, and either AB equals to DE or BC equals to EF. So we can say that AB equals to DE. Now in these two triangles, so angle B equals to angle E. So both right angles, and H hypotenuse AC equals to DF. Then the side AB equals to DE. So right angle, hypotenuse and side. Now in two right angle triangles, the hypotenuse and one side of one right angle triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and one side of the second right angle triangle, then the two right angle triangles are said to be congruent. So here we can say that triangle ABC congruent to triangle DEF. So if the hypotenuse and one side of a right angle triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and one side of another right angle triangle, then we can say that the two right angle triangles are congruent to each other. Now we will write the statement: if hypotenuse and one side of a right triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and one side of another right triangle then the two right triangles are congruent. So if the hypotenuse and one side of a right angle triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and one side of another right triangle, then the two right triangles are said to be congruent to each other. So in these right angle triangles, hypotenuse are equal, and also the side AB equals to side DE, and of course the two right angles are equal. So then we can say that the two triangles are congruent to each other. So far we have discussed the different congruence criterion in the triangle such as SSS congruence criterion and SAS congruence criterion and ASA congruence criterion, and also in case of rectangle triangles RHS congruence criterion. Now let us solve few problems based on all these congruence criteria of triangles. Now which congruence criterion do you use in the following figures? Now in the given that in the two triangles RPQ and ZXY, in these two triangles given that ZX equals to RP. So where is ZX here? See, ZX equal to RP and RQ equals to ZY. See here RQ. So this RQ equals to ZY. Next, angle PRQ equals to angle XZY. Angle PRQ. So this angle equals to angle XZY. So these two angles are also equal. Now which congruence criterion can we use so that these two triangles are congruent? So you are given that triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ. So what is the congruence criterion can we use in these two triangles so that they are congruent to each other? Now we can observe that these two sides means RP and RQ and included angle R are equal to the corresponding two sides means ZX and ZY and the included angle Z. So these two are equal. So the two sides and included angle are equal to the two sides and included angle of another triangle. The two triangles are congruent. So we can use side, angle and side. So we can use that SAS congruence criterion. So here we use the congruence criterion, that is SAS congruence criterion. So this is what the congruence criterion we use in these two triangles so that the two triangles are congruent. Now let us take the second question. So here the two triangles are given that triangle EAB and triangle DCB. These two triangles are congruent. It is also given triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CDB. Now what are the corresponding congruent parts? Let us see the given corresponding congruent parts. EB equals to DB. So where is this? EB equals to DB. Then AE equals to BC. So this AE equals to BC. Then angle A equal to angle C equals to 90. So this angle A and angle C. So these both right angles. So these both angle A and angle C right angles means these two triangles are right angle triangles. And here EB is the side opposite to the right angle. So it is hypotenuse. And here also DB is the side opposite to the right angle C. So here DB also hypotenuse. Now this is the right angle and this is the hypotenuse and EA is the side. So what is the congruence criterion can we use in these two congruent triangles? So we can easily observe that. So it is right angle, hypotenuse, side means RHS congruence criterion. So we can write RHS congruence criterion. So we can use RHS congruence criterion so that the two given triangles are congruent to each other. Now let us solve the second question. You want to show that triangle ART is congruent to triangle PEN. So here the triangle ART and triangle PEN, the two triangles are given. We have to prove that triangle ART is congruent to triangle PEN. So in this the first question, it is given that angle T equals to angle N. So let us mark here angle T equals to angle N, and you are to use SAS congruence criterion. Then you need to have. So when we are to consider SAS congruence criterion, So SAS congruence criterion means this angle must be the included angle. Now here, so if angle T is the included angle, then what are the two sides? So here RT and AT are the two sides. Then here angle T is the included angle. So in the second triangle also, if EN and PN are the two sides, then angle N is the included angle. So then we have to prove that RT equals to, so this RT equals to EN, then AT equals to PN. So we have to prove that RT equals to AN and AT equals to PN, means PN equals to AT. So this RT equals to EN. So this RT equals to EN and AT equals to PN. So PN equals to AT. Then this angle T and angle N will be the included angles. So then RT, this RT and AT are the two sides of this first triangle, and here EN and PN are the corresponding sides of the second triangle. Now the second case of the question, now it is given that, now let us remove all the equal parts, corresponding parts of the first question. Now in the same triangles, it is given that AT equals to PN. So here this AT equals to PN. And you have to use ASA congruence criterion. So you need to have. So when the two sides are equal in the two triangles, now what are the angles? So that this AT is the included side. So this angle A and angle T are the two angles, so that AT is the included side. So here also we will mark the two angles so that PN is the included side. So we can mark angle P and angle N are the two angles, so that PN is the included side. So when the two triangles are congruent, then the corresponding parts must be equal. So this angle A equals to angle P according to the ASA congruence criterion. So angle, side, angle. So here also we can take angle, side, angle. So we can take angle A equals to angle P, and second angle T equals to angle N. Then here AT equals to PN, it is already given in the question, that is, so these two are the included sides. Now the two angles on included side of one triangle are respectively equal to two angles on included side of the second triangle. So these two triangles are congruent. Now let us see the next question. Complete the congruent statement. Now in the first figure there are two triangles, triangle BCA and the second triangle BTA. Now first let us write the congruent parts of these two triangles. Now in the triangle BCA, so here BC equals to, in this BT, so we can say that we can write BC equals to BT. Then BA is the common side, BA equals to BA. Then here also given that CA equals to TA. So we can use yes congruence criterion so that the two triangles are congruent, and also angle TB, angle CBA equals to angle TBA. It is also given. So we can also use side angle side congruence criterion. So here also side angle side congruence criterion. Now these two triangles are congruent. Now what are the corresponding parts? Now here BA is the common side and here B is the common vertex. Then what are the triangle BCA congruent to triangle. Now what is the corresponding vertex of B? Now the corresponding vertex of B is B itself, B. Now what is the corresponding vertex of C? Now the corresponding vertex means the corresponding angle of BCA is BTA. So we can write here T, and the what is corresponding vertex of A? So here A is also the common vertex, so we can write BTA. Now here the triangle BCA is congruent to triangle BCA is congruent to triangle BTA. So we can use both the congruence criterion as SSS, or we can use side angle side, SAS congruence criterion. Now let us take the second question. So in this also there are two triangles. So the two triangles are QRS and PQT. Now the QRS triangle is congruent to what? Now let us find the, first we will find the corresponding parts. So in the first triangle QRS, so in this QR equals to, so this QR is equal to PT. So we can write this QR equals to TP, then RS equal to in this triangle PQ. So this RS equals to PQ. So 3 strokes. Then QS equals to what? So in this QS equals to, so double stroke here. So this QS equals to TQ. Now by SSS congruence criterion, we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Now triangle QRS congruent to triangle. Now what are the corresponding vertices? Means what is the order of the corresponding vertices of the two triangles? Now QRS. Now see here Q. So this Q is equal to here angle Q, this angle Q equal to angle S. So we can write here S. Now triangle QRS is congruent to triangle. Now let us find the corresponding vertices of the triangle QRS in case of the second triangle. Now the first vertex is Q. Now what is the corresponding vertex of Q? So the corresponding vertex of Q in the second triangle is T. So we can write T here. Then the corresponding vertex of R. The corresponding vertex of R with a double stroke is here. So in this it is given as P. Then the corresponding vertex of S. The corresponding vertex of S in the given triangle is Q. So then it is triangle TPQ. Now if you take the corresponding sides, QR equals to TP. So here also we got the same thing, QR equals to TP. Then RS equals to PQ. So here also we got RS equals to PQ. The next pair, QS equals to TQ. So here also we got QS equals to TQ. Now we can write that these two triangles are congruent. Now the congruence criterion is side congruence criterion, because the three sides of the first triangle are respectively equal to the three sides of the second triangle. So we can say that these two triangles are congruent according to the SSS congruence criterion. Now let us solve the next question. Triangle ABC and triangle PQ are to be congruent. Name one additional pair of corresponding parts and what criterion did you use? So it is already given that these two triangles are to be congruent. Now So what criterion can we use so that the two triangles are congruent, and also we should name the additional congruent parts, means the pair of additional corresponding parts. Now we are already given that angle B equals to angle Q and angle C equals to angle R. So as the two angles are right angles, but here we cannot use RHS congruence because it is not given that the hypotenuse of the first triangle is equal to the hypotenuse of the second triangle. So we cannot use the RHS congruence. Now when the two angles are given, then we have to take the included sides. Now what is the included side of the two angles, angle B and angle C? That is BC. Then BC should be equal to the included side between the two angles Q and R. So when the two angles are angle Q and angle R, the included side is QR. So the additional pair of corresponding parts, that is BC equals to QR. Additional pair of corresponding parts so that is BC equals to QR. Now we can use ASA congruence criterion. So by ASA, angle side angle, so here also angle side angle, by ASA congruence criterion we can say that the two triangles are congruent. So we can say that ASA congruence criterion is used. Now let us take the next question. Explain why triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED. So here the equal corresponding parts are angle B equals to angle E, then angle A equals to angle F, then BC equals to DE. But see here, the two angles of one triangle are respectively equal to the two angles of the other triangle, but the included sides are not equal. Here AB is the included side of this triangle. So here also here EF is the included side of this triangle. So we cannot use ASA congruence criterion. Then how to use ASA congruence criterion here? Now when the two angles of this triangle are equal to the two angles of the second triangle, then the automatically third angles will be equal. For example, however this is right angle 90 degrees, so here also this is 90 degrees. Then let us assume that angle A is, for example, 40 degrees. Then here also angle F must be 40 degrees. Then what is the third angle in this triangle? So 90 plus 40, 130. So 180 minus 130, 50 degrees. So this angle C is 50 degrees. And what is the third angle in the second triangle? Here also 90 plus 40, 130. So 180 minus 130 is 50 degrees. So these two angles also equal. So when the two angles of one triangle are respectively equal to the two angles of the second triangle, then the third pair of angles also will be equal. So here angle C equals to here angle D. Now observe angle B, angle C and BC. Here also we can observe angle E, angle D and DF. So when you observe these two angles and side, so when you observe here these two angles DE and side DE, so these the two angles and included side of one triangle are respectively equal to the two angles on included side of the second triangle. So then the two triangles are congruent. So here we can write one more pair of corresponding angles as angle C equals to angle D. Angle C equals to angle D. Of course here angle A 40 degrees is not given. For understanding purpose we have assumed that angle A is 40. Then we got angle C 50 degrees. So it means that here angle C equals to angle D. Now we can use angle side angle congruence criterion. So ASA congruence, since ASA congruence criterion, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED. So angle B, so this is A and side BC equal to DE, so this is S, and angle C equals to angle D, so this is also angle. So due to angle side angle congruence, since angle side angle congruence criterion is used, so we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle FED.